have found Prep Recruiting Insider. This is PRI, and we're coming to you today from Moe's Pizza on the West Bank, where Italians do it better. I'm the head coach of PRI, Rick Gailey. I want to thank you for joining us tonight and starting your sports evening here with us. And we are joined by our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nadeau. And along with us today are two more great St. Charles Catholic Comets. To your right, Andrew Rodrigue, the excellent place kicker for the Comets, and to your left, Lloyd Nash, the dynamic quarterback for SCC. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here with us today on PRI.
Andrew, I'm going to start with you. You got a 46-yard field goal to your credit. You really just missed on a 50-yarder. You got tremendous explosion in your leg. What schools are you looking at, and what's going to be the telltale sign for you as a senior that this is where I need to go? What schools are you looking at?
I'm looking at Southeastern, Nichols, and LSU. In between them. For me to go to a school would have to be sports. I like playing sports. I'm rounded around my sports, and small schools. I'd like something to be the teacher-to-student ratio.
Okay. And Lloyd, you got another year to go, but you play baseball too. Great. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But what schools have you talked to, and are you going to go all the way to signing day in 2018?
I'm most likely going to make my decision next year. Schools that have been looking at me, I'll say Nichols, Southeastern, UL, and Tulane, actually, yeah.
Okay.
And Andrew, St. Charles under Coach Monica has always been known for emphasizing the special teams and kicking game. In fact, y'all won a playoff game against Notre Dame without scoring an offensive touchdown. We won't blame that on Lloyd. That's for later in the show. But Andrew, talk about what it's like to play at a school that values so much your talent and the abilities of the special teams.
It makes you feel more important than kickers that are at other schools that don't really would kick field goals and don't really worry about their kickoffs and their special teams. Special teams are about field position, as Coach Monica teaches us. So if we can make our team go and play a 40-yard field and the other team play an 80-yard field, that makes a difference in a lot of games.
So Coach Monica just doesn't send you off on another field and say, come back later.
Oh, no, sir. That's not how it works.
It definitely does not. And Lloyd, really the offense developed this year in using your talents. Coach Monica has had a very multiple system over the years. Talk about what talents that you have that he was able to utilize this year for the Comet offense.
I'll say my dual threat ability. Teams know that I can run the ball and they know we can pass the ball. Coming into this year, we had a lot of shoes to fill, losing a lot of seniors, mainly on offense, and, me as a returning starter along my offensive lineman. It was good. We hit a spot where it was rough for us. We couldn't really figure things out, and when we weren't clicking on offense, and the ball would be put in my hand. He'll call up a run or something for me to make a play. To better the team, and I just embraced that role, and it came out successful.
And Lloyd, you do a lot of things. You've intercepted 4 passes on defense, caught a pair of touchdowns as a wide receiver. You play center field in baseball.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that may be an option. How does baseball help you as a quarterback, because you're a center fielder?
Yes, sir.
And also, I want you to elaborate, there's a couple of schools that are looking at you as scholarship in baseball as well. So talk about how both sports work and what schools you're talking to in baseball.
Playing both sports, it keeps you active, stay in shape, you condition well, and, I'll say when you're going from football and throwing a football to throwing a baseball, kind of builds your arm strength almost, So, you stay in shape, stay active, and just stay on top of your game.
And you talked to a couple of schools are really looking at you in strictly baseball. Would you want to play both in college?
If it's possible, I'd love to play both. At this point, I really don't want to give up one, but if it comes down to it, I have to make that decision. And schools that are looking at me in baseball, Nichols is interested, and so is Southeastern. So we'll see where that goes.
Andrew, you have a tremendous leg. You've got 50 touchbacks this year, and we talked about you have range maybe beyond 50 yards, and you also, even though you're a soccer kicker, you punt very well. How much of this have you worked on, and how much of this comes naturally to you?
It definitely comes naturally a lot because I played soccer since I was 4. The first time I kicked a football was freshman year. I came out to the team. They needed a kicker, and I figured, well, I've been kicking a soccer ball my whole life. I can do a football. I've been kicking a soccer ball my whole life. I can kick a football. And then I started kicking in practice. Following year, I'm starting. So soccer definitely helped the leg strength and explosion come through.
And when Coach Monica and I worked together at Tulane in '82, I was a special teams coach, and I got a chance to coach Tony Wood and Vince Manala there at Tulane. And I knew, Andrew, that it's almost an individual sport in a sense, but you always are looking at examples of other players and maybe looking up to professionals or great kickers. Did you have a particular player, Andrew, that you patterned your kicking style after or that you really liked watching?
I've always watched YouTube videos and Cole's kicking camps about Roberto Aguayo, the Tampa Bay kicker. I like the story that they have on his videos on YouTube. I like where he came from, and he doesn't really play to the individual. He plays for his team, and I find that very interesting.
And real quick, Lloyd, is there a particular player that you looked up to growing up?
Oh, yes, and Michael Vick, him being left-handed, dual threat, can throw a long ball, but he also hurts defenses with his legs. Growing up and playing youth football, parents, like fans, teammates, they'll call me like the young Michael Vick, and I just embrace that, and I just want to base my game basically off of his game.
That's excellent. That's Andrew Rodrigue and Lloyd Nash, 2 outstanding St. Charles Catholic Comets. No game faces, fellas. Give them your happy face right there in the red light. We appreciate St. Charles being here today, Coach Monica, and his players showing you why the Comets are threats every year. We'll be back at Moe's after this.